What's up, everybody? It's Alex and Daniel here from IGN. We are at the EA press conference at Gamescom, and they've just shown a glimpse of the future. So we've seen FIFA Next Gen, we've seen Battlefield on Next Gen, but yeah, Daniel, it's the first time you've seen FIFA running on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So you're IGN's expert. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm the person who has to play FIFA every single year for review, so I've played a lot of FIFA. Actually, my heart's still vibrating from all the kind of loudspeakers here, but I just think FIFA on Next Gen looks, I don't know, it looks like a iteration it's graphically more impressive. It's all those little touches that the new Ignite engine's bringing. It's like flicking the ball up when you go to take a corner. It's the ball boy passing you the ball. But they've also created entire stadiums in the engine. So they've built the Etihad Stadium, the San Siro Stadium in Italy for Milan. And it's all polished with kind of broadcast level quality. And I think that's the thing about FIFA. EA know it's the world's biggest sport. Microsoft know it's the world's biggest sport. That's why they're giving it away with the Xbox One, because they know it's a huge incentive. And everything they said up on stage, Andrew Wilson said, is they're tapping into the massive potential of football and really tapping into that. They announced FIFA Online is doing really well. It's coming to China. FIFA World is a free-to-play PC title coming to Russia and Brazil. It's huge.
And also mobile. It's free to play on mobile for the first time.
So it's going to take advantage of all those things. And FIFA 14 is obviously now going to be their flagship title on Next Gen. I thought it looked really impressive. I can't tell until I actually get to play the game itself, but I thought it looked great so far.
Well, it's the same with Titanfall. Like, they didn't really sort of show or talk about anything new with Titanfall, but man, that game looks amazing.
Well, I almost have flashbacks to something like Mirror's Edge, because that trailer that we just saw, it was much more reminiscent of a kind of free running game, which you saw a bit at E3, but that trailer really showcased how fluid the movement is. The way that you can run against walls, jump across the buildings, use your jetpack to get a boost in midair, all that sort of stuff.
Like, it's completely seamless, switching from being on foot to being in a mech, and you know, it's just like the sense of kind of scale is incredible. And speaking of which, like Battlefield 4, you can drive a warship into an island and then fire the anti-aircraft guns, which is just insane.
That's the thing they were saying, like, I hate the word, but Levolution is the one they kept saying. And what I took away was it's kind of synonymous with just kind of big set pieces. The unpredictable can happen in Battlefield. You won't get that in maybe another shooter, Call of Duty. It's crazy stuff can happen, like an anti-aircraft carrier can crash into a beach, then you can get on the aircraft carrier and use the guns to fight the other team. It's like insane things like that. It's almost like a big Inception moment where like something really surreal like an aircraft carrier was landing on a beach.
Like, you can flood the streets and then drive like speedboats down them, and like the only thing that I would question is like he says that every game is different every time, but I don't know. Surely once you've seen an aircraft carrier crash into an island once, you've seen it again.
When you play that map, do you just do that every single time? If it's that powerful, do you just go for that because you know it's an easy win?
Yeah. And kind of what triggers it? He mentioned like the weather being a factor and the waves sort of crashing it in. So, but again, how do you control that? I don't really know, but it sounds kind of interesting. Other interesting stuff. Plants vs Zombies, new DLC, even though the game's been out for less than a week. And
like they said, PopCap's already working on DLC for the mobile game called Far Future. It looked kind of riffing off 50s sci-fi, had like electrodes, and that looked cool. But I was more excited by the Garden Warfare stuff. That was one of my favourite games at E3. And they announced, after saying this is the most popular question they've been getting, is yes, you can play as a zombie in multiplayer. And zombies are kind of like have different classes, don't they?
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know whether you get different loadouts or you can specify your loadouts or customize them, but certainly if you're playing as a soldier, you get a rocket launcher. If you're playing as the American football dude, you get a football cannon.
So what I noticed, I was looking at the details, but they were going really quickly, but someone like, there's a mad scientist character, and I think he's like roughly analogous to a medic, so you could set up a zombie healing station. So they all have different weapons and unique abilities that I'm sure you can plug in, plug out.
And then, of course, there is boss mode, which is a bit like Battlefield 4's Commander mode. So using a tablet or Kinect, because it's exclusive to Xbox One. Yeah, so you get a top-down view of the battlefield. You can do airstrikes, all the kind of stuff that we've seen in Battlefield 4. But in Plants vs. Zombies.
I wasn't sure whether that actually integrates with the game like in Battlefield 4, or whether it's kind of like a sub-game or a mini-game that appeals to a really kind of mainstream audience. Maybe people who are coming from the mobile game and they're trying to like wean them onto Garden Warfare.
Right. And then other things to note, so Need for Speed Rivals, Undercover Cop. But that to me just looked like very much kind of the stuff that we've seen before, but in a plain car. I didn't really see the difference.
You also noticed something really interesting about the undercover cop.
Yeah. Well, on the number plate, it had police written on it, which is just like the biggest rookie error, right?
It's probably going to fail, but it looks to me like they've taken elements from Most Wanted, but it kind of looks like a next-gen hot pursuit, which is no bad thing, of course.
Yeah.
But they said the other thing, the whole ideology behind it is they're trying to blur the line between single-player, co-op, multiplayer. It's all going to be one kind of seamless experience.
And I guess the other kind of big thing for me that we saw at EA today was UFC. So first time we've really seen that game running. And it's frightening. It's like, honestly, like when someone gets punched in the face, I was literally feeling every single punch and hit.
They kept coming on stage saying that we all like to fight each other. I'm not sure if I do, because that looks absolutely terrifying. And the phrase they used was actually disgusting. It said body deformation. Yeah. So when they were like in holds, you could see people's like arms bending and sweat and skin contorting and tendons and sinews. It's quite disgusting, but in a good way, because fighting shouldn't be palatable.
Yeah. So, and we also saw we saw stuff on Sims 4 and also Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah. So again, both interesting games. Looking forward to see more of those as time goes by.
Like always, like EA, caters for a lot of diverse audiences, and it's going after that audience on several different levels now. It's not just consoles; it's free to play, it's mobile, and again, I think that just shows that they're going to continue doing that in different ways.
So that's it from the EA press conference at Gamescom. For everything else to do with Gamescom, keep it locked on IGN.